go. Everybody go. We don't need that there though, do we? No, we don't. Let's put that there for a minute. And let's see who we've got on. Have we got anybody on? We've got 14 people. So it says, hello, Carolyn. Hello, Margaret. Well, you're saying hello to Sarah and Leslie. So let me guess that they are both on. Huzzah. Who else is there? Who else have I missed? Let's see what the time is. The time is 6:19 UK time. The reason for being slightly late is, hello Ronnie, hello Leslie, hello Tricia, is that, as you can tell, I had a last minute get myself all ready for you. Hasn't dried yet, give it 5 minutes. I didn't know, Tish, I did not know. I didn't know my hair was wet. I have actually, literally. I've got a swimming pool out in the back. It's so cold, it's so warm in the UK at the moment. I just dipped out for a nice little dip. That's a dip, apparently, not a dip. And also I was trying to do something clever on my Do Not Disturb with Prism and I failed. Hello Sarah, I failed quite dismally. I was trying to do an exception on my Do Not Disturb. I don't know why I'm telling you the level of detail here, you probably won't care. Anyway, it didn't show up as an app. If anybody's technically minded, you probably understood. The rest of you are like, hello, pizzazz, save me. Like a snow queen, how marvellous. I feel like I've got a bit of a flush on. Hello, Sandy. So I was racing around, racing, I tell you, racing. Oh, I was so racing. In other words, I was moving slightly quicker than normal. Or actually, I wasn't even moving any quicker than normal. I just felt that I should be. I fell up the stairs last week. I was holding some eye drops in this hand and I think a cup of coffee or maybe a glass in the other, and I went, I did not drop either. I did actually whack my hand, but nothing really came of that, so that was all good. Just another drama on top of my double chip, my ping on my windscreen, which might say was not the most exciting. So thank you for joining me today. Today we've got quite a full tour and there's more content than an hour. Trying to look to see what I could cut out and I decided I couldn't cut out any of it because it's all just too fabulous. So what can I say? What can I say? I just couldn't make a decision. So we'll see, hopefully most of you can stay on. So how is everybody? And may I say, and I don't want to pick out people, but Michael wasn't present last week, was he? Did I have a tour last week? I did have a tour. So where is Michael? Where is Michael? And also, where is Michael? Because that would make 2 tours of absenteeism. I have fallen down the stairs. I've fallen up the stairs. I did consider perhaps as I get older, maybe I need a bungalow because then I wouldn't fall up the stairs or down the stairs. Oh, Anne, lovely Anne, you're not feeling so good. That's not good. Well, hopefully today will cheer you up. Mike the Missing. That actually makes him sound kind of like... I'm thinking of Braveheart, you know, like when people have a title. Ming the Merciless, Mike the Missing. Braveheart doesn't even work. So you know, it wasn't Boris the Braveheart, was it? No, it wasn't. All I can think of is Ming the Merciless. Leonie the Lunatic. Unfortunately, that rolls off the tongue a little bit too easily. What else have I got to tell you about? So yes, it's been another disastrous week. Disastrous. Oh, although not for Apollo. Apollo now he's lost the cone. Well, he didn't lose the cone. He had the cone taken off by his mother, i.e. me, and then he was freedom in the room for a couple of days, and then he was freedom. Freedom! And we had all of, you know, the bells, the whistles, and then of course it created behavioural issues, so that was great. That was just what I needed, because apparently when you stick a cat in a room for 4 weeks, the other ones are actually quite happy that that cat isn't there, and then the cat comes out and oh my goodness gracious, Peach isn't happy, Odessa's not happy, Kato gives no what's-its whatsoever, Baloo, no, who no, doesn't really care. But the girls, oh, the girls, may I say, girl cats, they do have attitudes. Goodness gracious me. Odessa has a lot to say about a lot of things generally, but Peach is on the quite frankly, never heard a cat growl so much in all my life. Oh, delicate sweet Peach has attitude towards Apollo, the kitten that she grew up with. Yeah, it doesn't help that Apollo has about the brain cell of a banana, and therefore does not realise that Peach does not want him to go up and slap her, because that's not actually the behaviour most people want, to be fair, and she really doesn't like it. So funny that. So yes, we've had cat fights, we've had growls. How is Peach's bladder? Well, I haven't looked, but I have been checking her wee in the litter tray, obviously, and there are no more incidences of cystitis that I can see. She's come off the anti-inflammatory Metacam, or whatever you call it. There's so many different names for it now. So just keeping an eye on that. She did get on the bed this morning, and I was in the bed, and I was like, surely she wouldn't, she wouldn't, but I was like, ooh, and when she stopped for a little bit, I kind of poked her. Hello, my lovely Sam. Sam's on board. Sam is on board. We have another tour guide. Don't say anything stupid, Leonie. I would just have to be quiet, not say anything stupid, wouldn't I? So yes, yes, I have got a little bit of a nervous disposition around the Peach in the bed at the moment. But I am her, yeah, meloxicam, that's basically, you name it, there's about 3 different names that I'm aware of. Basically, they mean stuff that's good for reducing inflammation. However, you need to be careful if your cat's got kidney issues, you wouldn't then give it to them. And some people, like Mr. Blue, would have a bit of a, shall we say, bottom problems that can't have it. But yeah, and then of course we had the double chip, which I've never. It's stressful enough driving a cat, because obviously you're really worried. You know, they're stressed, so you want to make sure you're driving safely. Make sure no twits drive into you. And then of course somebody overtook, and the stone went pew, pew, and it was quite loud and quite scary. I'm like, please don't let the windscreen crash, please, or smash, or whatever. Bottom problems, you like that term? Yes, well, diarrhea is just so, you know, last year, isn't it? So the bathroom now is free for Peach to reuse, but she is not yet, I think, quite convinced that it hasn't got some black and white oaf in it, so she hasn't yet, I think, started going in it. But she seems to be, she has had a few sniffs of him. I think it's just, she's obviously quite highly strung as well, quite a sensitive soul, we've decided. So she needs more TLC. So, and I think also she was probably losing out from attention, because my focus was on Apollo, and of course she usually gets all the attention. What else have I done this week apart from looking after errant cats? I was volunteering for the hospice yesterday in a well-known supermarket with my bucket for lovely people to donate, which was nice. And I'm doing that again in a fortnight in another well-known supermarket of a different brand. And I went round shopping afterwards. It was quite exciting. Got a little of bits. I won't say what, because one was for my niece. I dare say she'll never watch this live stream, but just in case. Just in case. Sometimes, I don't know what you think, sometimes it's just really nice just to go around a supermarket and lose yourself in stuff that you're never going to buy, don't need, don't even know what it does. But I just immerse myself. I guess that's what they call a bit of retail therapy. It was quite fun. I spent nearly an hour just wandering around looking at random things, but I did buy myself, oh my goodness, I did buy myself a deep frying pan. So you know what, nobody can stop me. We've got 1 minute till we go live. and then you will see Orebić in all its greatness. Of course I will, disclaimer, probably say everything wrong, and I really am going to click off the video straight away pretty much, just because there is so much content. 3 different videos because I had to stop for filming. You'll see why, although I think one of them was just because I'd needed to take a photograph or do something random. The other one, there was a jolly good reason for it, but I'm not going to tell you now. I don't want to spoil the expense. Spoil the expense. Spoil the surprise. It's funny, Margaret's saying it's 7 o'clock, but mine, funny enough, I've got 6:30, so Margaret may be on the sauce or I'm going slightly nutty, but I've got 6:30 on the nose. Thank you very much. So I am going to start off, as I said before, straight away with the first video, which starts with, for those of you who had already joined me in Orebić, you will find that this is where we last stopped, unless of course I've just set off on the wrong well, that's interesting. We're going really well. You know how I said we didn't have a lot of time today, so we needed to make the most of it. And what I've actually just done is started the wrong video. So now, of course, slightly confused at that's the one I've just done. Oh, for goodness sake, Leonie, wake up. Right, so, funny enough, this is the one, for those of you who are on my last tour will have noticed that here we are by that wondrous bench where we can see across to Cortula and we can wave. Huzzah! Now then, I have got the phone on Do Not Disturb, so you cannot hear a sausage, and I was hoping that I'd done some jiggery pokery to actually get you a little bit of volume, but that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to reduce the volume. So hopefully you get a little bit of noise, but not too much, because it was a little bit windy. And these things down here you're just passing now, they're actually changing stations. So you can actually go round in a little bit of a loop, change and have a bit of privacy. Although, interestingly enough, I'm not entirely sure if then somebody, because you can't see if they're occupied or not. There you are, there's another one for you, which is probably easier to explain. I suppose you'd see the feet, wouldn't you? There are space for feet, and nobody cares if you've got naked feet or not. So you go in there. If the sun's obviously showing, you might get a bit of an outline, but apart from that, you're fine. It was interesting weather, as you know, when I was out there. Not quite as sunny and blue skies as perhaps I had hoped, but this was quite nice. Now, that sound you can hear are the waves. If that is too much, let me know. Oh, Susan's, you're only just late, so I won't put you on the naughty step. But look at that view. We've got a bit of wave action coming on. I'm going to have a little look at the coast, and then I'm going to give you a bit of history about the town, which we can see as we walk down. This is the sort of thing that you do need to be careful that you watch where you're going, a bit like when we were in Devon. You don't want to fall off, although there's not as far to fall here. There are rocks, so it would still be rather painful. Now, Orebić is a port town. It's on a peninsula in the Dalmatian coast. Now, the peninsula is called the Pelgesac. It's probably not. It's probably not called that at all. It's the Pelgesac with a bit of an accent over the S. What I could have done is I could have let Google tell me how to pronounce it numerous times and I still would have got it wrong. So let's just say it's on a peninsula. So it's on the Dalmatian coast. There's not 101 of them, you'll be pleased to know. Now it's approximately, because of course depending on where you start and where you're going to, it's 110 kilometres to Dubrovnik. So it's something that you could do if you wanted a day trip from Orebić to Dubrovnik. They do it, but you've got to set aside around 2 hours to travel both ways. Now, it's approximately 200 kilometres in the other direction to Split. So we're walking towards Dubrovnik now. And if we walk backwards, we'd be heading towards Split. And of course, that's where I took you when I went to the island of Brač. Now, Orebić, it's named after the family that moved to the area at the end of the 15th century. So obviously the Orebić family. Now, to be honest, look at this though. Let's just admire. Now, this is a hotel, but I just thought that gate was something special. And you might be able to hear a bit of wind there as I stood back. Did like that quite a lot. Now, there's quite a few hotels as we're further away from the actual centre, the historic part of Orebić. And obviously you've got this promenade where you can walk into town, which is really handy. Now, the Orebić family either built or restored a castle to protect themselves from Turks and pirates. And of course the settlement grew around it. Now, in the 14th century, the peninsula came under the administration of the Dubrovnik Republic. So it's very much linked more to Dubrovnik, and you do have, obviously I flew to Dubrovnik. Hello, Peach. Nice to see you. Did you want to get in your bed? I'll pee in it. Thank you. Yeah, no, I think she's looking to get in her bed. There you are, so she can listen to me and give feedback on the tour. Now, what I loved about this is the fact that you can just walk along these and get a fantastic view from both sides and behind. That's behind, not me and not my behind. And I love watching the boats just with that sky backdrop. That's really quite something. And if you listen to that wind, and this is with the volume on low. And again, look how clear the water is. And for those of you wondering, we will be looking at the coast, but then we're going to go right into the town area. We're going to look at some buildings, and so you can see against that backdrop. Now, in 1707, Emperor Joseph granted hereditary nobility to the Orebić family for their over 70 years of service in naval warfare and trade. Now, the original writ of nobility is in the town's Maritime Museum, and we'll see the outside of that later on. And there's Croatian and Latin translations at the Franciscan monastery. Now, that's where I tried to walk up to, got so far, but no cigar, unfortunately. And I have got a tour of the walk down from where I did manage to get to. Now, the writ of nobility describes the sea captain's colourful exploits in defending the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Italy and Spain against France and the Ottoman Empire. Now, the family's role in the Dalmatian area in the salt trade brought wealth to the area. And again, these gates that we see and the detail, quite fascinating. I have not been able to find out what this rock is for, what it shows, it's either a memorial or something. It's a very large rock. It's probably linked to the maritime, and we'll see references to that later on throughout the town. Because since the 17th century, Orebić has been an important centre for the area's maritime fleet. And in 1875, Austro-Hungarian Emperor Franz Joseph visited Orebić for the grand opening of its shipyard. So here you can see burgers, pizzas, soft drinks. Not necessarily typical Croatian food. And of course, what we're seeing today is just as we've gone out of season. So a lot of these places are probably either closed or certainly not operating at full steam ahead. And that's why I was happy going out into the water, because it is so clear you can literally see right under your feet. There were some small stones. So, of course, you can see what's under your feet, but it doesn't stop you saying, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Solar panels, so you can see that obviously even in the, and interestingly enough, are we looking at older stone buildings? Are we seeing newer buildings made to look, well, that look older because of the stone? So you can see there it's directing you towards the ferry, centre of town, the municipal council building, and the sparkle on the water is really quite something else. Now, during the 19th century, Orebić had 17 of the most important sea captains in the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. And along the waterfront, you will find these historic sea captains' homes. Now, the houses reflect the wealth and importance of the sea captains. They're built on a grand scale, and you can see they've got large gardens. Now, many are still owned by descendants of these sea captains. In the 20th century, artefacts were donated to the Maritime Museum and the museum at the Franciscan Monastery House. So they have some collections. And of course, unfortunately, what it does mean is due to the age of some of these houses, some of them obviously need restoration, which due to their size, it will not be a pretty penny. So I really hope that they're not lost, you know, don't fall apart due to the lack of investment that's available. Not bad, is it? Have your kiddies playing while they can look out at the sea, or rather you can look out at the sea. They should be looking at what they're doing. I don't think when they're that young they quite appreciate the sea and the views like we do. Not saying you're not all toddlers yourselves. And this is one of the areas that no doubt would be open in full summer. Dalmatian tours, you can book boat trips, rent boats. You can book tickets to excursions, but of course all of that was pretty much closed. And again, here you can see this fabulous stonework. And when you think about the salty sea air, they must be quite robust or looked after. And you will see as we're walking towards this, will bring back nightmares of my little friend, the oleander caterpillar, hawk moth, sorry. Well, he wasn't a hawk moth, was he? So I guess he was a caterpillar, oleander, the oleander moth caterpillar. And this is why it's busier than usual, because we're expecting a ferry. So if you look, there's just to the right, there's that little white kiosk with a blue front. And that's where you'd be buying your tickets for the passenger ferry. Now, those ferries go out quite regularly to Cortula, especially in the summer months, and they come back quite late. Of course, I was out of season, so unfortunately had to come back earlier. So there is the sword performance over in Cortula, but you would need a much later ferry back than I think the latest one was around 6. I have got the times. And then the passenger ferry, the car ferry even, takes, obviously, cars. No, I never went up there, did I? Oh, goodness gracious me. I don't think I did. How interesting. Steps I didn't walk up. And now they drop them off about 3 to 4 kilometres outside of the old town of Cortula. So you wouldn't be going there unless you had a car, because that's a bit of a walk to get back into the historic town. I'm so glad you scared lots of people by showing them photos of that caterpillar. I actually had to deal with the caterpillar, so now obviously moved on a bit. Oh, some lovely flowers. Tourism is one of the main sources of income. And in the 1960s, there were a large number of people from around Yugoslavia built their summer homes here. So you've got a mix of those more old sea captains, villas, houses, and some of the summer homes, which equally, of course, no doubt they're then using them for Airbnb or letting them out, or again another beautiful gate. You couldn't really do this walk without stopping and admiring properties, unless you're not that way inclined. Love these. I know we haven't got Sue on. She'd probably tell me what they were. But I couldn't hang around because I'm actually standing out in traffic a bit. So I had to move on. Now this is obviously the coming up to the parking area. But first, beep. Some properties that you price on request. If you've got to ask, you can't afford it. €140,000. I mean, that's a nice one, isn't it? I wouldn't want it because it's high up in the pool, and unfortunately there's a bit of reflection, so you can't fully see these, but €169,000. Of course, what do you get for that money? Well, I will be sharing later in my group, Leonie on Tour. I've got a couple of villas that I think we should all club together and buy, but I'll talk about those a little bit later. Look at that. Trista, yes, probably on the naughty step now. I think that's probably time. Make yourself comfortable. I think there's a couple more with you. Now, this was interesting. I probably shouldn't have been walking along this, but I did feel I didn't want to be hit by a coach, so this was not the time, because obviously what you've now got is all the cars, all the vehicles coming off the ferry. And would you believe there is so much traffic? Well, I probably wouldn't have done if I wasn't here to see for myself. I did look, I think, oh, that looks interesting, and then I realised that no, it's actually just garbage bins. That's really not interesting at all. So we didn't follow on from that one. And look at all that traffic from the car ferry. That's, I think, when I realised I'm just about to walk into a car. Stopped myself. Well done me. High five. If Sam's still with us, I'm sure it's sort of thing she's done before as well. Get engrossed at what you're looking at. I thought by now we'd leave the car ferry to it. Exactly. You haven't lived if you haven't walked into a car and nearly got run over. Now this is, of course, the office for the ferry. Hotel Caterina, that's towards the end of our this stretch of the walk, should I say. And we are now looking towards some absolutely stunning buildings. So pretty. Look at that outside furniture. Of course, I had no time. I had no time to stop. So this is the sort of municipality council building. Looks rather nice, doesn't it? It's the colours of the flowers. And I think I rather like the symmetry of these buildings. And the windows, they're just all very neat. Not much for the way of tourist bits and bobs. But you can buy some caps, hats, or get a number on a t-shirt. Get another spectacular gate on your left, and we're looking. So these, you know, they've got quite a few floors, these buildings. And it would be absolutely fascinating to be able to go back in time and see what they look like then, the inside. Now there are 7 neo-Renaissance water drinking flowers. Oh dear me. Water drinking fountains in the town. Now, 1904 on that one. Like the tap coming out of the mouth, I'll be honest. Not that tempting for me, but it was built in the 19th century as part of the town's first water supply system, connected to a natural spring, and they can still be used today. And again, look, when you're actually looking at these buildings far back, aren't they just stunning? And that's why I really like these jetties, or whatever you call them. I just needed them to be all the way so I could then have my horizontal walk. So that's the way towards Dubrovnik. Now, people coming to Orebić will go and visit the Maritime Museum. They can also visit that Franciscan monastery. Our Lady of Angels, which is on the Mount of St. Elijah. There's lots of hiking and walking routes. So if you're that way inclined, you can keep yourself busy. There were a few doggies I saw around. Big old ice cream there. We are walking towards, you can see there coming up on the left, oh, I won't tell you yet, this building. Now, this building I'll be sharing a link to because it is for sale. And I think you should all buy it for me. It's very, very good value. I'll tell you more about it when we walk past it again. We are currently walking towards the Our Lady Help of Christians, or Church of Mary Help of Christians. It's a Catholic church and it was built in 1884. And this is signposted, because otherwise I don't think you'd necessarily find it. I didn't see that trailing wire. I could have tripped over that one, but I didn't. Good for me. Thank you. Yes, if you are enjoying the video, please do like it. I do believe it helps on the algorithms with Mr. YouTube. Not entirely sure why there is a giant egg. I have tried to find out. I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. It looks like something at the top, but again, now bearing in mind I was kind of expecting somebody to sort of come out and tell me off, so I had a quick wander around. And they are obviously doing work on it, as you will see. Again, just love this with the stone walls, stone entrances. It's not chocolate Easter egg, I know that much, Susan. As you know, I am exceptionally nosy, so I like to have a good old nose around these places. Didn't have any earthquakes while I was there. I think everywhere. I mean, goodness gracious, even Kent's had an earthquake. A small shrine, I didn't see that one. But you can see there, well, hopefully you saw the mark on the stone. Bit of a newer addition, that part. And there you are again, you can see that mark there. And we saw that around, oh, I haven't shown you the videos of Portula yet, so you haven't, but I did. Again, look at these, aren't these fabulous? What are they? Goodness gracious me. But they're really fun. Now that, if you carried on going, would take you to the main sort of road down Orebić. I'm glad you said flowers, Sam, because that's the extent of my knowledge as well. I can actually do roses, I'll have you know, and tulips, but that's probably about tiny little trumpets. Yes, trumpet flowers. They're just so cute. Well, maybe they come in different colours to match all the different cars. Who knows? It's unlikely. So back we go. Look at that wonderful entrance. And it's interesting when you look at the stonework at the bottom, you can see it looks like they cleaned some of it, but not all of it. We could start a band, Sam, with our trumpet flowers. Or maybe that would be the name of the band. Although trumpet ladies makes you sound like you've just eaten lots of beans, so I'm not sure that's a great idea. Now, at this stage, I thought to myself, I really probably shouldn't film in there because I have no idea if I have permission. And therefore, what I did was I took some photos, which I'll share with you. So this is as you walk in. So we have the scaffolding. Isn't that a marvellous, marvellous view? But I thought you'd like that, a bit of scaffolding. So if you can see, as you walk forward, there's a little line. I'm pointing to you, hello, with my finger. That doesn't help. You can see there's a little pathway that you can walk under the scaffolding. And so I did. And you then walk up and you see this, which is rather glorious. I think I'm just zooming myself. I never learn. I never learn. Goodness gracious me. There's a bit of a side angle. You can see stained glass window over there. And you can tell that what you have is just behind this on the left, you have a chap there doing a bit of restoration. So he's all covered up in his netting and he's got his scaffolding and there was a lot of noise going on with a lot of scaffolding all over the place. So they're obviously taking care of the place, which is nice. So then we will go back to our second part of the video, which is let's return to the egg because we enjoyed it so much the first time. And these look like the, oh dear me, goodness gracious. Look, they look like the things you put in bottle cleaners. Bottle cleaners, is that what they're called? They're not, but you know what I mean. So they're rather fabulous as well. So we're wandering back down. They're trumpet cleaners, yes. Probably not trumpet cleaners. Oh, they could be bottle brushes. Is that what they're just called? Bottle brushes. Well, there you are. They do grow on trees. Next time you see a bottle brush for sale, please note you can buy them in Orebić from the tree. Look at that as well. Isn't that lovely? Do like an outdoor dining set. Oh, we're back. We're back. So, no, but first, we come to our... Our restoration is so important in these types of buildings. It really is. Whee! Sorry, that's very speedy. That's very windy. Goodness gracious, we've got the speed, we've got the wind, and now we have the... Now, this is actually... it's a World War II monument known as a spomenik. Maybe not pronounced correctly. Now, on the 25th of March 1941, the Kingdom of Yugoslavia signed a pact with Germany, Italy and Japan. Gosh. However, there was a pro-Allied military coup 2 days later, ended that pact. Now, Yugoslavia was invaded on the 6th of April 1941 and conquered within less than 2 weeks. Now, keep an eye on this property while I'm talking. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, the Yugoslav partisans, officially known as the National Liberation Army, was a communist-led anti-fascist resistance to the Axis powers, which was mainly Nazi Germany, of course. And we've just seen that memorial to the fallen fighters. And it was listed, shot by the occupiers, killed by bombing, taken by the occupation. Now, this property is listed, still it looks like it's available for sale. Now, it was built in 1857. It's a historic captain's villa. It's over 5 floors, 700 metres squared worth of living space. That terrace housed a restaurant for 20 years and the ground floor was once a nightclub. There's a separate 200 metre squared plot of land which could be used for car parking. It does need renovation. The outdoor area is about 1,100 metres squared. Now, I don't know if that includes that car parking space. It's not listed, which is probably a shame. That is €1,800,000. So if I could take your bids, please. But I will be showing you another property later. So maybe we'll make a decision about which one we want to buy. And we're actually coming up to that one. So it's just to the left of Mimbelli. It's actually the Mimbelli Palace. Now here we're looking at the Maritime Museum. She's been there for a while, taking money for tickets. I think it was only about €5 or €6 to get in. I didn't go in. Now this, my trusty translator. Oops. Well, I've written it down somewhere, but where I've written it down is, of course, So, Uspomin I Slavu is memory and glory. Pomerasa, seafarers, Orebić Croatia, this region, and the date of 1957. So it's memory and glories of seafarers from this region. Some more lovely stone buildings here. Nice little balcony there. Some more hats. Goodness gracious. Could you get enough hats? We've got to the left coming up to the Tourist Information Office. And this will be why this video does end after a while, because I decided to go in it afterwards. Yeah, you can't afford it, basically. But look at that. Look at that lady. Who is that lady with that gimbal? Again, this is a... Oh, I wonder what's up here, because I'm so nosy. I think they must have seen me as well walk past. Oh, look at this. Oh, water comes down here. Oh, how exciting. Oh, more bins. Of course, you can see another villa up there. Very pretty colours, though, on the bins. Yellow, blue and green. Ah, I don't have a yellow bin. Somebody's boat that they've got tucked away. And now we're going to have to work out why on earth we have... Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Why are those hooks there? Were they holding people up? Do you put your luggage on them? Well, who knows? Torture implements? And then we go on to our last video. But as you walked up to the Tourist Information Office, you saw down this bench, and if you look very carefully, you'll see just under the bench there's a little ginger and white cat. Ginger and white cat, hello. Didn't necessarily want to say hello to me, but you know, obviously I had to take a photo because I've got hardly enough photos already on my phone. This is one of the streets that I walked past. Look at that, isn't that just stunning? Sorry, I don't know why my head poked out there, don't need to see that. The plants look absolutely massive, but I do think that's just perspective rather than being triffids. Oh, that's interesting. I'm good at this whole video stuff, aren't I? And off we trot again. Orebić's Bridge of Sighs, yes. So there you are, that's just where we went. It'd be interesting to know how packed this promenade would be in the summer. Now, walking towards the main beach at Tristenica, that's 1,500 metres long, so quite large. Again, you can see beautiful, beautiful, beautifulness. Now, prehistoric fortifications have been found nearby, as have the remains of Roman villas. Now, the Maritime Museum, which we passed, was founded in 1957. It has ships' tools, weapons, atlases, nautical and school books, health and travel papers, ship's pharmacy, medals, and it has exhibitions in the summer. So lots, I think, to keep somebody occupied. Now, one of the captains, Captain Jose Sunage, was awarded a gold pocket watch by the US President Abraham Lincoln as thanks for saving 22 US soldiers in a storm off the coast of Newfoundland. Now, we've actually passed it slightly. I'm not sure if we're going to come back. But, hello, doggy. Sorry, I probably did that at the time as well. To the left of us is the Hotel Adriatic. Now, I think I might trot down in a minute. I'm not sure. And look backwards. Or maybe I did it later. So the Hotel Adriatic used to be St. Stephen's Church. It was mentioned in historical documents dated the 17th of July 1625. Now, when the new church was built in 1884, so the church we've just seen, the municipality bought it and turned it into a school building. The school was later made into apartments and shops after World War II. It was then abandoned in the 1990s, and the Mikulich family bought it, renovated it, and completely renovated it, and they turned it into a hotel at the beginning of this century. So again, what a wonderful way to make sure that these old buildings are still being used. Now, where we saw Mimbelli, there's again, look at this stonework. Now, that, of course, could be new and plopped in, but who knows? Could be old. Now, Mimbelli Palace, which was there's a Mimbelli guest house that's got red gates, and it was opposite one of the fountains we've just passed and just before the museum. It's got 18 rooms, 4 bathrooms, 4 garages, and I'll send you the link to that. Now, it was built in the 18th century. In the 19th century, interior walls were painted by Italian masters. It's got antique furniture that the Mimbelli family of ship owners brought back from travelling across the world over many, many years. Now, the house is sold with all the furniture. 1,800 metre squared garden. The living area is 580 metres squared. And that's more expensive than the other one. That one is €2,100,000. But when you think about the fact that this has already been renovated, so you'd need to price up. You'd need to price up how much your renovation is going to cost before you decide. Personally, I think I'd probably go for one that's been renovated already to save myself the hassle. Let's face it, I don't actually know any tradesmen in Orebić. Although I do know obviously a very popular tour guide in Cortula. She might know some people, but I think maybe we should go for the renovated one. That water basin had that water fountain had something underneath. Whether or not it's for animals, who knows? I would think probably not. It's probably just the design, but I could be wrong. And talking of animals, look at what we have here. Hello. Hello. Now, this is me looking out at sea, pretending not to be actually still stroking that cat. This is a really interesting view. It's an interesting view.
Yes. Yes. Mhm. 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 Come on then. Yes. Come on. Be careful.
Now, of course, I start getting paranoid because there's traffic. And I was like, goodness gracious, I'm never going to be able to leave. What am I going to do? And you can hear her chirruping away. What do I do? How do I leave? I'm in the middle of filming. I'm stuck. I've got a cat. I need to leave. But now I'm worried about the traffic. These are real dilemmas. So the great news is somebody else came along and started stroking the cat and I was free. And then look at all these seabirds. No, she was absolutely fine. I think she was probably owned. She was a very happy girl. Look at all these little seabirds saying hello to me. Well, not literally saying hello to me. They're actually ignoring me completely. A little bit rude, if I may say so myself, but... Now this is a tree, isn't it? Look at that. I think probably a lot of owned animals are actually overweight. I know Apollo seems to have stacked on the pounds since he's been in the incarcerated for 4 weeks. Quite a moody view, isn't it? But again, very, very clear waters all the way down. And we have a random car, vehicle, what's it called? What is it? Can't see the backside of it. Is it a van? It's ruining my view, I know that much. HR, is that Hungary? So teeny tiny pebbles, stones. Just goes on, doesn't it, that view? And it's really interesting when you're in the coach going to and fro, because you can see obviously the old town of Dubrovnik. Really great view. I'm not sure how many fountains we've seen. I know we haven't seen all 7 of them. We've certainly seen a few. That's me stepping out the way of a taxi. And look at those clouds. Isn't that fascinating? It's almost like a tornado. We're just about leaving the, well, we have left the old town behind. Really, that cloud is quite fascinating. Planet X shop. Well, you certainly need to pay attention when you're walking on these roads, but to be fair, they're not bombing it down. And obviously they'll be very aware that you've got a lot of tourists. I'm glad you're enjoying the view, because I think I was just... That's what I loved when I went to Bratch Island as well, just looking out and being able to see... Oh, look at these little cuties as well. Look at those. You can see how windy it is when you see those blowing in the wind. And of course these, I'm like, oh, goodness gracious, and I know not what any of these are. Got a car convention going up on the right. And we're going to be turning left soon because we're going to leave the coastline. I wonder how long it would take us to walk up there. And this is where kind of it's split, so you could carry on down there. Of course, that'll be no doggies allowed, unfortunately. So this area does have a lot of tourism, but don't forget we're out of season. So we are now in October. And we are out of season. You don't have the excursions and you don't have the numbers of people. You look like a type of sedum. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Especially as I first read it as a sedan. But anyway, moving swiftly on. Oh, look, watch out. Oh, my bravery. There's no limit. And of course, we're walking now towards more of a residential area as well. I must admit, I was not happy with this parking area. I was like, goodness gracious me. You'd just, if you went too far or didn't put the brake on off, you'd shoot. So no, I wouldn't be parking there. Oh no. This was a little workout walking up here, and you can see the road. So the main road through. And this was to give you a bit of the contrast from the beautiful coastal walk promenade with the more sort of high street, I guess. Now, what I will say is, and what you can probably see, is this pavement is not very wide. Now, this I felt was probably a newer build, despite the beautiful stone. I did feel that was a newer one. So quite a few cars now. Not sure this is really very accessible. Now, if I was in a wheelchair, there is no way on this side of the road you would be able to go along this pavement and get past the lights. And somebody, there you are, overtaken by a small person on a bike. Now we're coming up to something which is quite interesting, although it might be slightly further ahead. So no beautiful sights, more interesting sights. This is indeed one of them. It is the stadium for Orebić Football Club, NK Orebić. Which is interesting, just wandering along and suddenly, wow, there's a big stadium. With a wonderful view of the sea. And then randomly, obviously, you've got some beautiful beautiful mountains, or however you would describe them, in the background. Got a football playground is what they call it. Supermarkets, apartments, more of those yellow bins. And I think we're coming across to what I thought we were going to see a little bit ago. Which made me chuckle quite a bit. Restaurant. Oh. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Thank you to those of you who have sent me a tip. That is much appreciated. That is the only way we can keep these virtual tours going. So many thanks. This was not a comfortable walk, to be honest, walking down here with a gimbal, just because of the very narrow pavement. And you can see there's always these turnings on the left where you can walk down and go back down to the promenade. And there you are. One of the things that you will see around here, oh, that's actually not it at all, is lots of wineries. So lots of wine shops you can pop in if you are that way inclined, because they have vineyards. And thank you, Tricia. It's all right, you're all safe, I'll look after you. You see there, little mirror there, you could have a look behind you. I mean, that car obviously poking itself out. So again, you can see your rent-a-car, your exchange, your apartments, but of course all pretty much closed down. I think we're nearly there. We're nearly where the part that I want to show you, I think. Just got to take our life into our own hands slightly. It's funny, isn't it? This is such a completely different feel, isn't it? This is really how you expect almost like a touristy town to look, although it's not full of life. Completely different to that beautiful area of, not saying this doesn't have its own beauty, of course, but just a completely different feel to it. And this would be really interesting to see in the full summer, because I'm sure it's... Did you all breathe in then? Sure, it's much busier, bit of life. Now this is then when I'm like, oh! It may well have been that the other side was a better place to walk, but it's not the place I chose. Moldova, indeed. Not been there. Have to add it to the list then. It is a beautiful backdrop. Well, it is, especially when you can see there's somebody coming towards us. So now what do? You think, oh, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll look at the mountain and... It's pretty there. Sure, when those baskets are in bloom, that looks lovely. Oh, it's so much further than I thought. We're getting there, we're getting there. I think that's all died off now, but that probably looks gorgeous in the summer. Starting to think I imagined it. Oh, just as I say that, here we are. Look how this reminded me of taking you for our walk past the fairy garden. Swans, gnomes, Snow White. And you're looking at Tommy. Now, Tommy is one of Croatia's largest grocery retailers. Interesting, the name Tommy. No, it's not on an island. We're on the main. We're in Croatia. We're on a peninsula. Well, that fits us all to a T, doesn't it, Tish? And we're going to take a left in a moment. We're going to end the tour by looking out at the coastal view. But first, we're going to walk past what is very interesting. Now, I know what it is, obviously. Doesn't necessarily. Where do you think we're walking past? On the left. What do you think that is? I'm going to turn the camera now to the right so you can't see it, just to be cruel. No. What do you think I'm about to walk past? We're going to turn left so you're going to see a bit more of the building. I love the fire hydrant. I was obsessed when I went to New York, kept filming or photographing rather fire hydrants. You think it's a parking garage or a church? That's Tish. Carolyn thinks it's Hale. Interesting. Do you mean a hall? The school, says Susan. Now this is beautiful, isn't it? Look at this one. Very nice indeed. And look at this garden. Car park. That's 2 for car parks. Look at that. Beautiful garden this. Another one for school. Amphitheatre. Oh, very posh. And look, can you see the cat? Hello, kitty. Offices, says Sarah. Car park, cat sanctuary. It is indeed a school. It's an elementary school for, well, Croatian elementary schools are from age 4 to 12. I don't know if this particular school covers that age, but yes, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this looks very prison-y-like. And we're doing this view because I'm obviously walking past people. Very nice. Villa Cactus. And here we are again, walking down. We are nearing the end of this mammoth tour. Well done to those of you who have managed to stay online. I did think perhaps I could cut it down, but I just wasn't sure what to cut out. Down we go towards the fountain. Have a little bit of a nose at that retro mug there. Mind my head. Whack. Glad you enjoyed it, Tricia. And of course, here's really interesting because we can see these. Interesting ship, of course, leaning into that. The history of the captains. I'm pleased to hear it, everybody. Oh, tried to move the chat, ended up moving the whole thing. Whee! Whee! when I get overexcited with my turns. No dramas, exactly. Whee! The end of it, I think I was exhausted, if I'm honest with you. That's it, just one more photo to share with you. And that is this, which I thought was really cute outside one of the houses. I mean, you know, maybe they need a little bit of watering or looking after, I don't know, but I just thought that looked really, really rustic and lovely. So, there you go. I do get annoyed with this app. Just doesn't let me have my... Oh, I love a door. I do love a door. I love a door. I love a gate. Oh, just can't get enough. I do like just wandering around and looking at things. So hopefully you enjoyed my video tour of Orebić. I still have content for you from Croatia. We've got the walk down from the nearly at the monastery. We've got obviously some footage from Korčula. I don't know what I'm doing next weekend because I don't make my mind up. See, another pre-recorded content. I have got lots of content I really do need to share with you. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope I see you next Sunday, and I hope you all have wonderful weeks. Take care. Bye. Bye.